Hi guys. So a thought came to me the other day, which I'm sure has already occurred to some of you anyway. But it just really came to me like Tara, and I thought, the Matrix, as some of us refer to this realm, or you can use any word for it. I call it the construct often enough, but the construct, the Matrix, the virtual reality, whatever the fuck it is, it seems to really just experience us as foreign agents, It's like a body that is injected with something alien to it, and it's anathema. There is a friction, there is a rejectionary process of like, no, this does not belong, and it seeks to push it out. It's a bit like that. That's what I feel, and especially the last 3 days, not including today. So yeah, sort of last week Wednesday, Thursday and Friday were like, whoa. Yesterday morning still as well. It was all that Mars square Pluto energy, I feel. Because the NPCs have been playing up like never before. Now, I've not had any trouble at all with not wearing a mask at all. I've not really had any trouble with it. And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. There was the bike shop incidents, and then various other incidents as well. Yesterday, I was riding my bike, and I was slowly going into a shopping precinct, which is called the Ridgeway, just down the road, and it's a one-way system for cars, right? But not for pedestrians. And I was just about to get off my bike and walk, and there's this guy there, and he starts mouthing off at me, "It's a one-way system, how dare you!" Oh, it was verbally like vicious. It was just pure vitriol, and there was a bunch of other NPCs stood around him, and they're all staring at me and giving me dirty looks, and it's like, wow. And they're all there with their masks, queuing up to go into the bank. I got some other shit happened basically, and I call this baiting. That's what I call it, baiting, because that's what it is. Now, what's happening is that evil, such as it is dying. But it's there within our consciousness as we experience it because of all the trauma and whatnot. It's there, fighting, really fighting, wanting us to stay in this conflict type of left brain, stunted hell consciousness, right? So all of a sudden you get all this cognitive dissonance when you think about higher esoteric concepts that aren't concepts anymore, that is blatant truth because you live it, and it's there saying, no, that's not true, and no, consciousness, it doesn't do anything, consciousness doesn't exist, you don't create reality, you don't have any power, you're just a meatbag, you're nothing, and you're just a powerless victim, and right, which is in and of itself nonsense, because if that were true, then all these NPCs would not be so full of poison and attacking and targeting also all of a sudden, which they are doing. Because Mars is the I am, the hero of the quest, and Pluto is Lord of the Underworld, so it's all the poison, it's the vertigo, it's what evil is, and in and of itself it's a sickness of consciousness. I've been talking about this all along. You see, so it's baiting us, that is what it is, and all of this crap comes up when this happens, like that guy down there, and and it was like, whoa, and I thought, right, and ooh, and then it's like, I have a choice here. Let it go. there is this part of my consciousness that goes, no, you should hurt him back. Give him a total lashing of your tongue and diminish him to nothing. Go on, do that. That will make you feel good. That is what's right. Because if you don't do that, you will feel like a powerless victim. But it all comes from the notion that evil's won. That, we are powerless victims. They're doing it to us. Evil's won. There's nothing we can do, so damn, but all of a sudden full of this hate, full of this rage, full of this victim-y type energy. I know exactly what it is, I know, and it's poison, and it's a lie. And it's a great time for pedal to the metal. Or is it metal to the pedal, or whatever, fuck knows. But anyway, to not just talk your talk, but walk your walk, people, because we need to act our power, we need to act our magic, we need to set that intention and act on it and keep fucking letting that go. We are not powerless victims. Why do you think evil is doing all of the things that it's doing? Why do you think that within our own consciousness, within our mind and our emotions, there is all this upheaval going on, all that fear, all that and tortuous turmoil? Right? Telling you that, you're doomed, you're finished, and look at the state you're in, and look at the dreadful mistakes you've made, and look at how shitty your life is and always has been, and you're never going to get anywhere, you won't be allowed to get anywhere, and it's all based on lies and lies and lies, people. Now, you know this is the truth, you know it. But there's this anti-force of like, no, it isn't. It's not a lie. It's the truth, and that's all there is, and that's how it's going to be. And evil's won, because that is what this is all about, people. This is the war. This is always a spiritual war. It's always a war about consciousness. You know, he who controls consciousness creates reality. So, there it is. I mean, as far as Hylics is what I'm going to be using now. In terms of NPCs, because you see the non-player character is not, they do play to an extent, but Hylics I feel is a better terminology for it for the moment. Again, it's just words, language, who cares, right? But I've noticed this kind of sequence with them. Often enough they are bewildered when confronted with a soul traveler. It's like, don't know how to compute, or they're dismissive, like, you don't fit, so get away. And then there is this disapproval, which I've been getting a lot. There has been this strong sense of disapproval emanating from it all, not just the Hylics, but the actual construct itself. The disapproval, which then slowly goes, it's a distaste, like, it knows we are foreign agents. It is the virus, and we are the cure, and it knows it. It knows that, people. So, if you're feeling like shit right now, and if you're really going through shit, and you're all in a state of, like, cognitive turmoil and insanity and darkness and confusion, dissonance, like, then know that you are getting it right. That is very important for you to know, people, is that when you're feeling all, you're actually getting it right. The reset is happening. It comes from within. Be very aware that we can choose to not react, but to feel the feelings that come up and analyze those feelings, introspect. Why do I feel this strong reaction? Why do I want to go and kill this person? Well, because the Wetico inside our consciousness says, see, this is a sign that evil has won. All these NPC Hylics are there abusing you. What, you're going to be a doormat and let them do it? You should fight back. Well, I say no to that. There are times where, yes, we have to stand our ground and give them what for. But there are ways of doing it. Now, yesterday something happened, and I feel that's sort of a case in point. So I'll tell you the little story of what happened yesterday. I was in a little country lane, and this woman came up riding a horse, and I could tell very strongly the horse's energy was very much, it was the energy of distress. Now, me and animals have rapport. We talk to each other. Animals talk to me. You know, they tell me things in the way that animals tell you things. And this horse was saying, she beats me, and I hate her, and I don't want her on my back. And it was a very strong energy. And it really did hurt. And I said to her, she had this whip in her hand, you know. I looked at her and I said to her, your horse doesn't like you using that whip on him. He says it hurts. And she turned on me and she had these reptilian eyes and said, well, I should hope so. And it was like, okay, you're evil. I can see what you are, you know. And she started getting really quite abusive. And I stood my ground, and without really being angry at all even, or feeling the need to retaliate, I just stated my case. I just said what spirit, basically, something my true self said, say this to her, and I did. And it was a weird sort of situation, because here my Wetiko side said, oh, you're being reactive, you shouldn't say anything. And my true self said, no, say this to her, say that to her. And there was the other side saying, yeah, but she's just a Helix. She's just an organic portal, so it won't make any difference. And my true self said, yes, it will. Because it's all energetic. And you saying this to that creature right now will energetically change something in the mix somehow. For some reason it was meant to happen, and I was meant to say what I said, so I did. It's as simple as that. Sometimes we don't know what the outcome will be. We cast our bread upon the water. For what reason we know not. But we do it because spirit, which is the true self, which is the great mother, you feel that, you know it, and you do it. And I call it walking the tightrope. I call it that because there is a fine line to be drawn between being just reactive and coming from a place of, I feel victimized, I feel abused, and I feel like evil always wins, and so and coming from a place of, okay, this, no, not worth my time, I'm letting this go, it's not worthy of my attention, it does hurt my feelings, but I love myself, I let this go, it is nothing. Yes, good. And a time of, I need to say something now and make my stand here, and so you do. And it is knowing the difference. Energetically it feels very different. This is an antagonism. It's what I call the crank, you know. It's the Wetiko inspired, and it's never good, and it never goes anywhere right either, and it never serves us at all. The other side does serve the light. We know this. We get a sense of empowerment and self-determinism and self-activation, and it having an effect on the field. We don't always know what the repercussions of it may be further down the line, but somehow it is important, and so we do what we do in those instances, and we speak our truth. And that is what I call walking a tightrope, because it's not always easy to work out which is which. It can be quite confusing. So, yeah. Because this entire virtual reality is one giant gaslighty nonsense operation. Its objective is to keep us trapped in the shadow self, which the dark generator uses against us to keep us trapped. And it is our responsibility to choose to disentangle from that, and we are doing it. And I honestly feel that everything that's happening now is happening to that end. I don't think we can lose. I don't think we have lost or will lose. That's simply not even ever been an option. I think we're magical, powerful creator beings, witches, wizards, angels. We are everything. We are everything. And our imagination is our power, people. Now, if our imagination is continually being kept busy, imagining the worst case scenario, and feeling like, oh, I'm a victim and I'm powerless, and the Hylics are attacking me, and it shows that evil's winning, and you hear all the negative shit in the mainstream media, or you hear all the negative shit in the conspiracy arena. It's like, oh, evil's woman, that's all there is. Then know that that's Wetiko, and it's tricking, it's a trick. That's it. But you see, it's what we're used to doing. So now we're becoming gradually more and more aware of, haha, but I don't have to do that. And with regards to self-determinism and self-actualization, even here on this level now, we have a purpose. You know, we have purpose. We have... I mean, if you are thinking of setting up your own business, if you are thinking of a creative endeavor, or of whatever it is you really feel like doing, and your shadow is there saying, well, that's crazy and you can't do that, and it's you're not going to be allowed to do it, or any of that shit, or, well, the world's, and you know, the event is going to happen soon, so don't bother and just don't do anything, then no, that is not a trick. We are all walking pieces of the jigsaw. We are situated throughout the field logistically for a reason, okay? So if there is something that you feel like you need to do, go ahead and do it. Now, if there's all this shit going on there that's saying, well, but I can't do it because of this reason and because of that reason, then you're allowing the shadow, Wetiko, the dark side, to win. So don't do that, people. Forge ahead. Feel what comes up. There's a lot of this crap of like, well, I'm not worthy and I'm just going to feel anyway and I'm not going to be allowed to do it and I'm just so shit and so worthless and so powerless. Lies, 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 bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. But it is a dense, oily, black, energetic thing that we need to push through, like a knife cuts through that. And often enough, positive action in the direction of what we seek to do, any steps, positive steps, will be that knife that cuts through that. I do feel. This is not about us being powerless victims. No, that's not what this is about. It looks that way, it might feel that way, but that is not what it is, you see. This is all about magic. That's why evil's so busy and fighting so hard, like a rabid animal. Well, I don't really want to say that because, of course, you know, animals are lovely, but evil is not. Anyway, if you're out and about and you're getting this abuse from Hylics, then be very aware of your ability and your power and your magic. Your true self will tell you how to respond. Letting it go, walk away. Oh, it does hurt. I'm not saying that it doesn't, you know. It does, you feel it. It is a directed, energetic type of attack. I'm not saying it isn't. However, if you know that you're powerful, then you can alchemize that and it can be used for healing. Remember that. Let it go in, let it bring up your woundedness, your trauma, your programming. Be ultra objective to yourself. Introspect. Use it and utilize it. Ha 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 ha. Now that is a good fuck you to evil. Right? And or be aware that sometimes, yes, we walk away, we do that. Other times we have to make a stand and speak our truth. True, that has to be done too. See, so the tightrope walk, which we as magical beings can be very, very good at. There is a great deal of self-mastery involved in it. And practice makes perfect, people, you know, because we're powerful, magical creative beings, you know, we really are. The synchronicity that we experience all the time shows us this, people. You know, you think of a song and there it is. You think of a person and there they are. You think of, I don't know, you have dreams, they come true. We have gifts, we have abilities, we are potent and powerful and evil. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's all for today. So, all my love to all of you people. Bear with it and walk the tightrope walk.